First of all, who remember this hotel here? I'm staying right next door to this hotel. This is the hotel I'm staying. I want to deal with a little politics, but you guys just give me a minute, okay? I was just called a PPP stooge. I'm accustomed being called a PPP stooge, but I think today is the day that I should address it, you know. And I'm gonna address it in 1 second. But let's do some some sightseeing first, shall we? So this is the Mandalay Bay. I don't know if you guys remember this hotel made the news recently. Actually, the last shooting they had in Las Vegas, major shooting, the guy stayed in this hotel right here, the Mandalay Bay. And my hotel is right here. This is called the Luxor Hotel. It was, I don't wanna that's the hotel I'm staying at right here. It's called the Luxor Hotel. And yeah. Ready to do some politics now, guys? This is it right here. I'm somewhere up in there. So there we go. There you have it. The Mandalay Bay is right across the street. Made the news recently. Very popular hotel. I was told by a driver, an Uber driver, that the hotel wasn't doing too well, but only recently people started going back to that hotel. This one, the Mandalay Bay. Yeah. So let's do some politics now. Many times I'm posting my comments. Make sure I'm not in the sun so you guys can see me. Many times I'm posting my comments on Facebook, and I'm being attacked by PNC and APNU and AFC trolls, and I'm being called a black PPP stooge. All right. So I have a little thing to tell you guys of the benefits of being a black PPP stooge. A lot of you guys who accuse me of being a black PPP stooge would never ever get the opportunity to ever come to Las Vegas because you can't afford it. That's the first thing. And stay at one of the top hotels in the United States because you can't afford it. A lot of you guys who are calling me a PPP stooge even have food in your house right now to eat. All right? Even though your government is in charge. One of you who were calling me a PPP stooge, I was privy to find out where you live, in your little mud shack in Sophia. All right? So maybe you should join me and become a PPP stooge so you can live and enjoy the finer things in life. All right, loser? That's you. Just to deal with you for the starting, okay? I don't usually take this road. I don't usually do this kind of stuff. But I think that it's important that sometimes, we actually start dealing with some of these people who hop on Facebook and start to attack people because of their political beliefs. Now, I believe that the PPP is the best party equipped in Guyana to take Guyana forward. That's my belief. They have others who believe that the PPP should not be given another opportunity to run Guyana, and that's your belief. But to constantly attack me and call me a black PPP stooge, I think that it's time for me to fight back. It's time for me to hit back, and I can hit hard. I really try not to, because I always remember what Michelle Obama says about taking the high road. And I always try to take the high road and not, nothing people say and post about me on Facebook really get my attention and get me upset and get me angry. But sometimes, we just have to let these people know. All right, we just have to let them know. Guys, many of you who calling me a black PPP stooge, you guys can't live the way I live. So maybe you should join me and become a black PPP stooge so you could start enjoying life. All right, you don't have to be confined in your little mud shack and wherever you are. Right? You don't have to be battling every day to put a little rice on the table. You don't have to be begging your neighbors for help you out with food, and you don't have to be begging for credit from people in the United States. All right? Become a black PPP stooge, and maybe your life might get a little better. Okay? So don't be attacking me and calling me a black PPP stooge because I believe in what I believe in and because I stand for truth and right. All right? Not because I'm a black man, it means that I'm automatically supposed to sign up and support PNC. I am not a supporter of PNC, and I would never be, because that's a party that brought hardship on our country, brought hardship for our people years ago. All right, and they are returned to power with a coalition, a dead coalition, by the way, a coalition that we see clearly that the Alliance for Change component of that coalition is dead. Due to, well, we were saying it before, it's not the local government elections, was just that just brought add facts to what we were saying all along, that the AFC is dead. From the time the AFC collated with the PNC and they were not a voice, they become dumb, and they become deaf to the people, and they become dumb, and they weren't able to stand up for the people of Guyana. They became a dead party. So the last local government elections only solidified that point. It only made that point a little bit more solid. All right, the last local government elections just put the facts on paper now, because the facts of the death of the AFC is now on statement of polls that were issued by GCOM. All right, so but we knew all along that the AFC was a dead party. All right, because they got sucked in to the PNC and became just like the PNC. And when the PNC was going around and doing their bullyism, like bullying you guys to pay for parking in a place like Georgetown, pay more expensive parking than we pay here in the United States. And mind you, right, the minimum wage in New York, where I live, the minimum wage is $10 an hour. And yet still to park on that road, any street in the 5 boroughs except Manhattan, right, it will cost you about $1 an hour. And remember how much they were charging you in Guyana for parking on the streets of Georgetown. When the PNC was bullying you guys to pay that parking, it wasn't until the PPP stood up, right? And the PPP made this public, and members, civic-minded members of our community also, I'm gonna go over here and sit down a little bit. Civic-minded of our community also pointed out, then and only then, that they have decided that they were going to, the AFC joined the bandwagon and decided that they're going to protest against the parking meter. But they were in it with them all along until there was a public outcry. All right, so I want you guys to understand that. So it was only then, and there's someone sitting over there, and I don't want to be rambling about politics and having other people hearing me and be watching watching at me and wondering if this is a madman. So I'm going to stand up over here, where I'll be away from everybody else, so I can ramble and quarrel, right? And nobody can hear me, sir. Yeah, so back to what we were saying, guys. So when these guys have nothing, no substance, nothing that they can actually put forward to make a constructive argument, no points to bring forward, then they start attacking. They attack people like me, especially because of the color of my skin. They think that because I am an Afro-Guyanese, I'm supposed to be PNC, I'm supposed to sign up to the PNC. No way, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I stand for truth and right, and that is the reason why I cannot be accused of anything, because when the PPP was in power and I wasn't too happy, I made those observations known publicly also. All right, so I cannot be accused of being a blind loyalist. That's one thing I cannot be accused of, and that is why I will always stand with you, the Guyanese people, and I would always stand for truth and right, regardless of where it takes me and however it affects me. All right, so I can't turn to the sun. I can't make you guys be seeing the sun, and can't be able to see me properly. This video is going to be very short. I'm going to do politics. Once I get back from my vacation, I get back to New York, I'm going to do more political videos. I'm going to do it more on a professional level, and I'm going to make sure that we will be able to keep in contact, and we'll be able to talk to each other, and I will bring you all the updates. All right, but there's a recent the official statement from GCOM is out, and where it showed that the PPP got 61% of those who turned out to voted for the PPP. 36% for those who turned out to voted for the APNU and the Alliance for Change got a meager 3% of the vote. They were saying that they were the 10% party. Remember that Moses Nagamutu, the Honorable Prime Minister, even went on television recently, as recent as a few days, when he was talking about whether they're going to discuss the no confidence motion or not, whether it should be discussed before or after the budget. But listen, you guys don't be tricked by that budget, you know. The budget is an election budget. The budget is in direct response to the whipping that you guys give them at the local government elections. So don't get caught up and don't be fooled. All these things that they're coming up with now in this budget to make it nice and dandy, all these things they're coming up with because they saw what happened to them at the local government elections. All right? So I don't want you guys to be fooled by what they're going to bring in their budget, because it's in direct response to the local government elections, guys. Don't be fooled. Don't fall for their political trickery. All right? The Alliance for Change is a dead party. And I'm going to say it right here and at this point. Right? If you support the Alliance for Change, you are supporting the PNC because it's one party. The Alliance for Change doesn't stand for anything different from what the PNC stands for. All right? So they're going to come, the members of the Alliance for Change, the few that is left, the two that is left, they're going to show up at your doorsteps. They're going to tell you how much they care about you. They're going to beg you for another chance. They're going to be saying all these nice and dandy things to you. But I don't want you to be fooled. All they're trying to do is to stay in power. All they're trying to do is to trick you to get to stay in power. They've already tricked us once, myself included. Right? They've already tricked us once, and we're not going to allow them to trick us again. All right, my people? So I want you guys to stay blessed on this Saturday. I want you guys to spread the message, guys. Continue to talk to your neighbors and your friends, regardless of how they look, right? And let them just have those heart-to-heart with them and ask them, do you really think Guyana is better off with these guys? There's absolutely no leadership in Guyana, my friends. Absolutely no leadership. You look around. Ministers just hop up one day and decide that they're going to do this, and then it automatically becomes a policy of the government. There's nothing that's debated. I want you guys to remember, when the PPP was in power, almost every week, you heard from the Minister of Health. You heard from don't talk about agriculture. Robert Prasad and Leslie Ramsamy, they made agriculture they put it back on the front burner and made it sexy and made it attractive to young people and made it become a money-making industry. And Mr. Noel Holder has killed that. Mind you guys, remember Mr. Noel Holder even said that he has no confidence in this government. All right? Remember that Jai Paul Sharma said he has no confidence. He didn't say it in direct words, but he did say that he had no confidence in this government. You guys need to remember that. These are sitting members, serving ministers in that government. You tell me, guys, when was the last time you saw one of those ministers doing something big for bringing out any big policy statement or any big policy initiative concerning their respective sector? You tell me. I want you guys to tell me when last you heard the Minister of Health come out with any major policy thing. When I was the assistant to Barry Ramsaran, who was the Minister of Health, almost every month that they had something, we were in Barbies for Oral Health Month. We were in Linden for something. We were with the trucks doing dental care out in the communities. You remember the bus that used to show up in your community and give you free dental care? Yes, the PPP did that. Yes, it was the PPP who did that. Guys, do you see the bus anymore? I don't live there. You tell me if you see the bus anymore. We were out there in the community. I can tell you I can talk about agriculture all day, even though I never worked in that sector. I could tell you about culture, youth, and sport under Frank Anthony. All right? You were seeing him. He was visible. There were policy documents. They were working on the national youth policy and much more. All right? You name it. The Ministry of Social Services. under who was the last minister, Jennifer Webster, I think it was. There were policies that were implemented. There was a place there where if you couldn't find employment, you go there and they were gonna be searching for employment for you. There were policy things that were put in place. When's the last time you guys saw any minister of that government out there making any major announcement? The only minister that's visible out there talking anything is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and most of the times when he's talking, he's only talking about our current conflict with Guyana and Venezuela. All right, that's all he's talking about. No policy direction or anything like that. The other minister, Minister Trotman, he used to be very vocal and he used to be talking about the oil sector. When last y'all hear from him? Where's Trotman now? Okay. Dawn Hastings, where is she? Absent. The low lady, I don't remember the lady from the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs. Miss Lowe, I don't remember, but you guys can help me out with some of these names because they are so invisible that we don't even remember who they are. All right? When's the last time you heard from her? When's the last time you heard from, let's see, let me go down the list. God, I can't remember some of them. The most vocal person right now is the Minister of Finance, because he's preparing a budget and he's an attack dog. But he knows very well, because he worked in the Ministry of Finance during the PPP days. So he knows very well, but he knows the writing is on the wall for him. And that is why he's out there attacking, because he know more than anybody else in that government, the policies that were put in place by the PPP, how they were working. Jordan knows that. And that's why he's out there, and that's why he's attacking, and he's attacking, and he's attacking. All right? But he's not attacking and bringing anything to counteract or contradict anything that Barjagdio said or anything like that. You know, you notice they always attack him personally because they don't have any substance to attack him on. So it's always personally. It's always, oh yeah, they were corrupt. Oh yeah, they were stealing. Oh yeah, where is the evidence? Show us the evidence of the PPP's corruption. We want to see it. Bring it forward. But you guys don't have any. That's why you constantly attack and attack and attack, because that's all you can do. And that's what's going to happen, right? As we draw closer to the 2020 elections, you guys be prepared. I said it already. I'm going to say it again. PPP leaders, be prepared, because they're coming for you. They're going to come hard. They're going to attack you because they have nothing. They don't have a track record. They don't have a record to put side by side with the PPP to say, oh yes, the PPP did this, but we did this. The PPP moved the country this way, but we moved the country this way. We did this. They have nothing. And all the little programs that you see they're completing, the little road projects, the airport projects, and every other thing that you see that you think it's some development that came to Guyana. No, it didn't come to Guyana today. It was initiated under the PPP when the PPP was in power. Okay, guys? Do your research. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. I'm going to wrap up now because I got things to do. I'm on my vacation and I have things to do. So, going to wrap up. But I want all of you guys to enjoy yourselves. And once again, to all those PNC trolls who call me a black PPP stooge, I'm proud to be a black PPP stooge, and maybe you should follow me so you can live like me. Goodbye.